Okay, a real treat for me today. I've got the ET100. Now, I love my ET100, but if you notice, this is the V2 one. We've got the new one out. Now, my ET100 was the sort of go-to drone as far as I was concerned. They're robust, they fly really nicely, they're just damn good fun, actually. If you're a full-on racer, they're a little bit docile, yes, but for anything else, they're brilliant. And actually, I reckon even a full-on racer would quite enjoy it because of the way you can put them through and everything. And like I say, mine was really good. I'm saying mine was. There's nothing wrong with it. It is still flying, and I've actually a mate of mine's got it, and he's had it for quite a while now, and he flies it a lot, so he really likes it as well. But I'm very pleased to get the V2. So let's get this unpacked and see what we get for our money. Okay, so that's nearly everything out of the box. You also get some spare screws to hold the sort of canopy on, and also you get two complete sets of spare props as well, and it comes fully assembled as well, so you've got basically 3 sets of props, and the props are marked R and L as well, so you put them around the right way. The canopy it comes with, again fitted as stock, is this white one, but it's the new design. They actually send you the old design as well, which is the old ET100 design, and went through the ET range as well. So you can swap it and make it look a little bit older. Quite why, I don't know, because I like this one. This one looks much slicker. And also I've noticed straight away you can actually get into the micro USB. You can put the cable straight in there, so you don't have to worry about cutting a hole in it, which we had to do in this one, or you have to take the canopy off to do any Betaflight changes. You also get 2 other ones. You get sort of like a smoked, it's not a black, it's a grey, I suppose, just sort of smoked grey one, which looks kind of slick. I always worry about losing my quads in the leaves here and everything, so the darker it goes, the harder it is for me to find. But on this one, we've got a beeper, so that's good. We've got a nice loud beeper in there as well, so that'd be cool. And you've got a bright red one as well, so I'm going to leave mine in white as stock, and that will show up all the mud and everything that it gets covered in. You also get a 450 milliamp hour 2-cell battery. Now, in all the paperwork, it mentions 3-cell, and then once you actually read the paperwork through, it says definitely only 2-cell on the 100. You can run 3-cell on the 115 and the 125, so just be aware of that. You also get another couple of spare rubber bands, which are used for holding the battery on, very similar to the original one. And I just like the way this is put together. It just looks really nice and neat. LDARC do always seem to build a nice quad. Even the way the wires are done for the motors, all tucked in, everything's tucked in nicely out the way. I did some serious tests with my original one, and it really did get bashed around everywhere, and these are pretty good. I would imagine you can break them, but everything's breakable, but honestly I found them really good, better than a lot of others, so that's obviously going to be a benefit and worth thinking of, especially if you're new to flying. They've run the aerials out up through the top here, so rather nice again, and there's a nice angle on that camera as well. Now, the actual camera's 800 TVL, and I always think that's a pretty good level for me. But again, numbers don't mean anything, it's how it actually performs. It's 150 degrees field of view, and it's an NTSC camera. I'll pop the top off so everyone can have a look, the sort of techie guys can have a look around. It's 100mm obviously from there to there, motor centre to motor centre, and then you've got the 115 and then the 125 as well on the bigger ones. The motors are XT 1103, so 1103s, and they run at 7800 kVs. So, and they've got these little domes on the top, which we didn't have on the other ones. We just had literally screws on the top. So I don't think they're actually going to do anything, but it does sort of give that slick look to it, and that to me looks as though they've actually had a little bit of bother with the design and also the build of it. Also with LDARC, you get this sticker on it, means it's been flown in the factory. Whether it's been flown, I don't know, but it's certainly been powered up. They do run them, which is again nice little sort of quality thing. The whole package with everything that you get is all quality. I think it all sort of shines that way. We got a F3 flight controller on board with OSD as well, so it's really nice to have a beeper and OSD. I think they're sort of lobbing everything else in there for us. You got a 4-in-1 12 amp BLHELIS on the ESCs as well, so in theory it should be able to run a 3S. I'm not going to risk it because I really don't want to fry it, and they say it everywhere not to do that. Also comes with a couple of sets of instructions. You've got the one for setting up fail-safe, it runs through that for you, and also the main instruction. Now these have always been brilliant from LDARC, and on the ET series especially. It's in Chinese and in English. And this is the bit I was saying about, it clearly says here, you know, do not use 3S on the 100, but use it on the others. And it literally runs through everything. I really like this. Setup's really good. It tells you how to set up Betaflight and everything, and also it covers all the models as well. So they've really done it well, and they've been doing this a while. They've sort of got, because they were King Kong beforehand, and now the LDARC, and I've always liked their models. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out on my flight. Okay, for the techie guys out there, I've popped the top off so you can have a look at the actual stack itself. I think it's really nicely put together. The fact they've sort of even bothered to colour anodise the nuts and also the standoffs as well, the posts, I think is, I don't know, it just gives a little bit of idea of quality, doesn't it? 3 little screws that to take the top off, and you've got the other ones that you can swap it for as well. They just simply screw into there. A nice fit, feels exactly the same as the original ET actually, which is good. To bind to your transmitter, it's just got the little button there. Hold that down, then power this on while you've got the bind set on your actual transmitter, and then it bound up first time for me, no problem at all. And an improvement on this one is they've put the micro USB for getting into Betaflight and changing any settings, so that you can access it even with the Canopy on, which is really nice. The original one, I cut a little hole in mine to make sure I could get in, but that looks actually pretty tasty. I like that. Okay, so just going to run it through Betaflight. I have actually run it through and set my switches and everything to save you being too bored with it. But I'm just going to run you through the setup. So if yours doesn't work, at least you've got something as a reference. So it was already calibrated, but you can calibrate the accelerometer here, obviously. These are the ports that we're on. Configuration, I've altered nothing apart from, I think I put motor stop on. That was the only thing that wasn't on here. Everything else I've left as is. I do like to try and fly them as is, and then if need be, I'll make any changes if I think it's drastically wrong. But I think you ought to, you know, start off with it on basics and then get going. The other thing was it didn't have a craft name, so I've just popped that in. That was the other thing I remember. Everything else is exactly as set, so you can just pause it and have a look through if there's bits you want to flick on and off that you've played around with yours. I've left the PIDs as set as well, and also all this information is literally in their instruction manual. Literally page by page it runs through every single thing here. It's really nicely done. I did have to change this to TAER1234, so that was the only other change I had to do here, and I just pulled it up so you can see that everything's working. So we've got a throttle working, we've got the yaw working, no problem at all, and then the pitch and then the roll, making sure everything works well. I did set my switches, and actually this one, and this one were all set up, so that was rather good. The arm switch is that one there, and you can hear with that beeper. It's lovely having a beeper on. I'd rather have a beeper than OSD every single time personally. Air mode is set up on position 3, so that's onto there. Position 2 is horizon mode, and then position 1 is angle mode. And then the other thing it didn't have on was the actual beeper, and I've just set the beeper on one of my switches, and I just have that in the center position. That means I can turn the beeper on and off. You can actually set this up for turtle mode, so you can do the recovery turtle mode. Not something that I'm really that bothered about, to be honest, but they do give you the instructions on that in the actual instructions as well on how to do it. Onto the motors, nothing changed here obviously. OSD, I just changed this to the bits I wanted. Basically it had sidebars on and the artificial horizon, which is normal sort of setup, and something that I'm not really bothered about. I do like the center bit, but these are all very personal, what you have on the OSD. And to be honest, I'm really not that bothered, because it'll beep when the battery's getting low, and you can tell anyway from the actual control on most of them. So that's everything set up in Betaflight. Obviously, if you change anything on any one of the pages, make sure you do hit the save button. So they were out for my first flight. I'm just going to do a quick line of sight just to test it all out. It has got a really nice LED at the back, bright green as you can see, and it is a bright day, and it's clearly visible, so that's rather nice. So let's just see how we get on. Let's try a little punch out. Like I say, not an aggressive quad at all, but the ETs are just damn good fun. This is in stabilised mode. Yeah, lovely. Gorgeous stuff. Nice. I like the buzz off it as well. Really good. And you can see the LEDs change it at the back there with the
It's pulsing away actually. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Well, I hadn't run it before. Oh, when you give it a good kick, it goes red as well. So yeah, really nice. So let's try it in horizon. Yeah, so we've got more go in it in horizon. And flips as well, obviously. I'm not good at flipping in acro. I must admit, in air mode. Sorry, when I'm not FPVing. And really easy to do in horizon though. Here we go. I'm just going to pop it into air. Oh, that's nice. Battery's running a bit low. I was playing with it indoors. That is lovely. This is going to be fun. Very nice. Gosh, you goes. Just lovely flyer. Yeah, not the most aggressive, like I say, but really good fun. And that's what we're after in RC. Well, that's all I'm after anyway. Just to do a little flip just in stabilise. There we go, yeah, so you can flip in stabilise as well, which is no surprise. There we go, gentle ones, and probably do some fast ones. Oh, 2 or 3, yep. Right, okay. Let's go and do some FPV. And mind you, I actually could fly this all day like this. This is actually good fun. Okay, got a really horrible contrasty day. I mean, it's beautiful because it's lovely and sunny, but oh, it is contrasty. So let's just give this a go first of all. Whiz it around in stabilise first of all. Oh no, oh, just lovely. I haven't actually done an awful lot of flying this year. I've had a bit of it. Whoa, we've got loads of lines on the VTX. That's usually an interference thing. I'm learning all these things. As most people know, I'm not a techie guy, but a mate did pass that on to me that that's probably because the cables are a little bit close together. Oh, and it is actually quite, yeah, it's really interfering with it. I might actually move the antenna. That might be the answer. Oh yeah, it does fly nicely. Oh, it's just lush. Like I say, not really done an awful lot of flying this year. But this thing is fun. Whoops. And actually my glasses are, because it's still pretty cold up here. So my glasses are fogging up really badly. So, but oh, I really don't want to stop. So. Oh, that's cool. That is really nice. I think I'm going to drop down and then I'm going to demist my glasses, I think. Welcome back. That's a lot better. Okay, into horizon mode. I think you do your flips and everything and it will just self-stabilise anyway. So. But oh, I'm struggling with those lines. It really is quite bad. I'm going to have to move that. Let's just give a quick go in here. Oh, this thing is lush. Oh, really lush. Oh yeah, it does everything. Oh yeah. Having said not for races, I think this thing's pretty good. Well, my level of flying, it's absolutely fine. I'm really struggling with those lines now. I'm going to pop it back into stabilise, bring it back in. I'm going to go and move that antenna, move that aerial. I reckon it's something to do with that. I'm hoping so. If not, I've got a bit of a duff VTX. So let's just bring it down here. I could land it on the Tyrannus. Okay, so all I've done is put the antenna out the back now, just to see what difference we get. I would say it was better already. Yeah, literally, that's all I've done. Just literally pulled it down from the top. I'll do a little bit of video when I'm back in the studio on it. This thing is lovely. It's amply fast enough for me, I must admit. Oh, there we go. Usual sort of ducted fan, a little fail there. You do get that on punch outs or bank turns when you're doing things really fast. But actually, that's the first one I've noticed. Mind you, it's only the second flight, but it's not got the dropout that I've had in other ones for sure. It really doesn't. Yeah, oh, I was trying to actually do it there. If you keep the power off, sort of ease back and then do a sharp turn, you can sort of get a fall with it. But no, it's just not doing it actually. And actually it's working really well, because over that distance, the other side of my house is usually a problem. We've got a great big metal garage in the way. That's why that's losing on the VTX there. But it's actually really nice. Oh, I like it. Oh, just forgot how lush they were. Perhaps I should get me one back off my mate. The only problem is he lives down in England. I know. Inconsiderate, I'd say. God, this thing is lush. I love it. Oh, back in heaven. Yeah, that's that roll there. But nowhere near as bad as I've had with others, I must admit. This is really, like I say, extremely contrasty lighting. I'm going to go and find somewhere else to go and play. I'm sorry, do this serious review. Yeah, we don't play. It's work. It's definitely work. Is it heck? Not on this channel. Yeah. I know hard work never ever killed anyone, but why take the risk? I always think. This thing is lush. I just love it. It's brilliant. Oh yeah, a real treat. God, really struggling with the lighting. I'm going to go and find somewhere else, like I say, to go and play. Woo, there we go. It's just so controllable. It's really nice. I've done no alterations in Betaflight. It is just a lovely piece of kit. Oh, there we go. We're getting really beeps now. Let's drop it down. Perfect. Love it.
Okay, so what do I think of it? Well, what do you reckon? Have a look at the footage. Honestly, the grin on this bloke's face is, amazing. I've had a blast with this thing. It's been really good. First things first, that mod that I did to the antenna, it sounds quite drastic, doesn't it, doing a mod to an antenna? I didn't even take the canopy off, the top bit off. I just hooked it out with the wire and just pulled it out backwards. I probably should have undone it, but honestly, it came out no problem at all. And literally just let it stick out the back there. I haven't tied it or done anything else with it. It hasn't got anywhere near the props or anything, and I got rid of those lines that you saw on the first one, so that's a really easy mod. The antenna usually comes up through here. So have I had any issues with it? No, not really. The dropout when you're doing a bank turn and you're off the power can happen, or even if you then suddenly try and power it up, you can have a problem with it on ducted fans. I've noticed it on loads of them, a lot worse than this actually. And the reason that I found was I've actually been running it with all these different batteries, because I've been playing with this thing, and actually I've got a battery that's it was quite weak on running, and I've noticed I could get that real dropout and kick in that was easily recoverable, but only with this battery. Now I've got two of these. The other one gave me no issues at all, so I think this battery is basically failing, so I've marked it up to go in the recycling, so that will go. All the other batteries are absolutely fine, even batteries with a 30C on them. The actual battery that comes with it says it goes from 80 to 160. I don't really believe it does a 160 draw on it, but that's what they say. And honestly, I was having great fun with all these different ones, 500 milliamp hours, 350s, everything. The stock battery is probably the one you're going to be interested in how long it flew for. I could get up to 3 minutes, but usually certainly always over 2 minutes, 2 minutes 15, something like that. But yeah, around the normal sort of times that you get with these, 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how well you're batting it around, sort of thing. I found the flying of it was absolutely lovely. In air mode, it was gorgeous, and in stabilised, it was good as well. Even ran it around the house when everyone was out. It's not really a good indoor fly. The angle of the camera is very difficult to go slow and be able to see things, so I don't really recommend it, but I just thought I'd give it a little bit of a test. And obviously you could be going reasonably fast, hit something, you could really damage something in a house, so it was just a very gentle little test up and down the stairs just to play. But anyway, that was me. The only damage I've done, and I've bashed this loads of times, is just chipped the prop there somehow or other. There's no damage to these at all. It's lasted really well. Being hypercritical, the 800 TVL camera, I have had better quality 800 TVLs, but as a flying experience, I wouldn't have known any difference if I hadn't have had lots of experience with lots of other quads. So I wouldn't change a thing on it, to be honest. I've absolutely had a blast with it, and the fact that it's come out through all these batteries, loads and loads of flights in different environments, and absolutely not a bother at all. I'm really thrilled. So do hope you've enjoyed the review, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.